be like at 5:30 or 6 in the patio.
It's gonna,
It
yeah.
just crap, and it's not, it's too late. I know it's supposedly the, whatever. Yeah. So you, what did you just leave after a certain time? Last Monday night?
I'm trying to figure out what page is,
What'd you do when we only had 3 people last Monday night?
yeah, they, no, Kairos, they eliminate other stuff too. Makes it a lot shorter. But then you have to study.
But you're waiting there.
Yeah, but I'm
See
As
who
soon as I'm-
shows up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we figure out where that starts. It'd be for festival. Minto for Shabbat festival.
Like our ticket.
I've got page
No, 70.
184.
It's on-
I got 184, and I don't know if that's right. It says Minto
Ah, yeah,
for festival.
you're quite right.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
So it sounds like. right to
184.
me.
Guess nobody else came since I got.
As I was saying, I was like, oh, I'm hoping there's 10, more than 10, so after the first we could leave. No offense to you,
It
Al.
doesn't look like it.
No offense to you that don't want to stay for study session, but, you know.
Well, we don't have to leave. I don't do traditional study sessions. I have some fun songs we could sing. But, if you're not doing it, I'm doing it. I do it together.
I want to play, like playing relay races, like
Oh,
the kids
you
that
can
do
do those.
today. That
Really
sounded
not.
like fun.
They are fun.
I never got to do that
Well,
my whole life.
you could.
Now I have to wait till what, next year?
Share it with you. Do it at home. Find some friends.
Find some friends and do it at home.
Yes, to do
It won't feel right if it's not
Crawling
really
with-
nice over.
oh, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, see, it's a problem.
I usually do bring programming that we do with the kids. I'm not sure that the relay races would have made it onto my top 10 list of things I would thought you guys would have wanted to do. But last year, last night of Passover coincided with Tuesday night happy hour, so we played a whole bunch of games. We had a great time. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll get started anyway. If anyone is watching on the live stream, we could still use a few more people here in the chapel, so feel free to come on down and join us. We begin on page 170. Page 170. Ashrei Yoshevei Tachad Yalucha Salah. Tilat tonight our hero kabasar shangashol am vad rachne varach yam yatavir lamaluya hu valatzion gasher page 171. Kadosh 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 nights lamars kavodo Baruch Adonai komo Melech V'yivtechu b'chayodei shemecha k'lelet ha'shacha Adonai nachvat zamanti kol yagdil Torah v'yadir. We turn ahead to page 184, A or B. 184, A or B for the silent Amidah for after actual lives. So that's page 184, all the way there. Page 184, A or B is the festival Amidah for Mincha. The passages to include are only the ones for Pesach. So hopefully you can choose your own adventure way through this Amidah, and we'll see if the Minyan shows up. Yom Chag Hamatzot Zez Mechnartini Mikra Kodesh Zechon Etiam Yom Chag Hamatzot Zez V'Hasinu Eloheinu Kashinu Z'Tekadolinu Shalom are still completing your personal Amidah, please continue. Otherwise, you may be seated as we turn back for highlights of the Mincha Amidah. We'll go back to page 186 and sing a few sections of what would have been the repetition because we still don't have a minyan. So if you're online, feel free to join us. If you're not, I'm telling the world we could use a minyan here in the chapel. Put it out there, maybe it'll come back to you. Page 186 at the top. אתה בחרתנו מכל העמים, אהבת אותנו, רצית בנו, ורוממתנו מכל הלשונות, וקידשתנו במצוותיך, וקרבתנו מלכנו לעבודתך, ושמך הגדול והקדוש, Aleinu karata. At the bottom of the page in the middle, the second passage for Pesach, Ya'alev V'Yavo. That's also a singable section, so we're at technically the fourth word in the middle paragraph. It goes like this. Ya'alev V'Yavo V'Yagia V'Yera V'Yeratzeh V'Yishama V'Yipaked V'Yizacher Zichronenu Fikdonenu V'Zichron Avotenu Ya'alev V'Yavo V'Yagia V'Yera V'Yeratzeh V'Yishama V'Yipaked V'Yizacher Zichronenu Fikdonenu V'Zichron Avotenu V'Zichron Mashiach Ben David Avdecha V'Zichron Yerushalayim Ir Kodshecha V'Zichron Kol Amcha Ben Yisrael Lefanecha Lifleta Letova V'Zichron Mashiach Ben David Avdecha V'Zichron Yerushalayim Ir Kodshecha V'Zichron Kol Amcha Ben Yisrael Lefanecha Lifleta Letova. On page 187, the third line from the top after the parentheses. Kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha v'tein chelkeinu b'toratecha sabeinu mituvecha v'samcheinu b'shuatecha. It's a little disjointed, but we're picking the parts we can sing. At the bottom of the page. Ha'ato ki lo chalu rachamecha ve'hamerachem ki lo tamu chasadecha ha'ato ki lo chalu rachamecha ve'hamerachem ki lo tamu chasadecha me'olam me'olam ki binu lach me'olam me'olam ki binu lach. On the top of the next page, second paragraph. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech Adon lechol ashalom. Ki ata melech Adon Lechol Shalom, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov ve'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael. Bechol eit uvechol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. ve'imru, imru, amen. Yasa shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yasa shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, amen. Please rise for Aleinu, page 190. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon HaKol, Latei gerula le'yotzer reshid, shelo asanu kegoyei aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol amonam, vanachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei amlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, she'unot hashamayim ve'yosed haaretz, umoshav yekarav hashamayim imal, ushchinatu zo, begobhei meromim, hu Eloheinu eino demokeinu. Ki amalchut shelcha hiamatim loch v'chavod ha'katuv b'toratecha, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'namar, ve'haya Adonai le'melech al kol haaretz, bayom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, u'shemo echad. Fondness and affection to recall those members of our community, of our congregational family whose yard sites come to a close at sundown this evening, the 22nd of the month of Nisan. Remember Barbara Merlin Farrell, Celia Leshansky, Cy Mitchell Boatwright, Dolores Cohen, Faye G. Zinn, Flora Spitzer, Fruma Libby, Gladys Silverman, Harold Bernard Sirota, Harold Petty, Jacqueline King, Larry Stephen Hacker, Louis Feingold, Louis Siegel, Morris Baumgarten, Muttle J. Schneider, Paul G. Teckel, Phil Belowski, Rose Solomon, Sadie Goldman Perkins, Sydney Gubin, Sylvia Apteker, and Wilbur Margol. And as a community, we're also sending our condolences to the family of Yaakov Goldner, and we wish them our deepest sympathies this week. Yehi zichram baruch, may their memories be for a blessing, and may they rest in peace. Amen. In the absence of a minyan, we'll turn back to page 97. Page 97 at the top. So we'll read together in the English a Psalm of David, Psalm 23. Psalm of David, Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. God gives me repose in green meadows and guides me over calm waters. God will revive my spirit and direct me on the right path, for that is God's way. Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are at my side. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever. We'll take a brief pause. It's too early to end the holiday. And as I mentioned when I came in, I don't often do a traditional study session, so I did bring some fun things. So once again, if anybody happens to be watching us, we could still use about 3 more here in the chapel. Feel free to come on down. If not, we'll just be here singing. I'll take off my tallis. Don't need that anymore. So some of the songs on this song sheet we'll skip over because we've had enough from Manish Tana, Dam Svardea Kinim Ve'aro. We probably don't need the 10 plagues again and the 4 questions again. If you feel so inclined, Rabbadim Hayinu, we can sing about how we were slaves and now we're free. But I would recommend some of the more fun songs that are in here. So, number 4, which is to the tune of She'll Be Coming Round the Mountain. Now, these are the songs of my childhood, so I don't know if they feel familiar to you, but hopefully they will. Bad things will come to Egypt, don't you know? Bad things will come to Egypt, don't you know? Bad things will come to Egypt, bad things will come to Egypt, bad things will come to Egypt till we go. That's how it goes. The part in the parentheses is sort of the sound that goes at the end for each of the next verses. We'll see how it goes. First, God will change the water into blood, ick, ick. First, God will change the water into blood, ick, ick. There'll be nothing left to drink, with no baths you all will stink, when God changes all the water into blood, ick, ick. Slimy frogs will be all over everything, croak, croak. Slimy frogs will be all over everything, or ribbit, ribbit. They will jump all over you, they will jump into your shoe. Slimy frogs will be all over everything. I like ribbit better. Lice will make your big heads itch and itch and itch. Scratch, scratch. Lice will make your big heads itch and itch and itch. Scratch, scratch. The heads of poor and rich, even animals will itch when lice make your big heads itch and itch and itch. Scratch, scratch. Wild animals will scare you all to death. Roar, roar. Wild animals will scare you all to death. Roar, roar. You'll be scared of their roars as they bite and scratch your doors. Wild animals will scare you all to death. Roar, roar. Your cattle will get sick and die like flies. No moose. Your cattle will get sick and die like flies. No moose. No milk will fill your cup. No meat on which to sup when your cattle get all sick and die like flies. No moose. How do you feel about the rest of the song? Are we kind of over this one, or we're okay? Yes, no, maybe? Nobody really cares? Great. So let's keep going. Can't stop with just the first 5 plagues. Your skin will get big sores all over it. Ow, ow. Your skin will get big sores all over it. Ow, ow. You will cry 'cause they hurt you. No medicine will cure you, and you'll even get the sores down where you sit. Ow, ow. Icy hail will fall down on you from the sky. Knock, knock. Icy hail will fall down on you from the sky. Knock, knock. You may try to hide your head. You may crawl beneath your bed, but all the outside plants will surely die. Locust bugs will swarm all around your land. Buzz, buzz. Locust bugs will swarm all around your land. Buzz, buzz. They will eat all plants of green. No broccoli will be seen when the locust bugs swarm all around your land. Buzz, buzz. The day will turn as black as night can be. Can't see. The day will turn as black as night can be. Can't see. You won't see any faces and the old familiar places when the day turns black as night can ever be. Can't see. God will give you this last chance to let us go. God will give you this last chance to let us go. As midnight passes by, all your firstborn sons will die, and your people will cry out if we can't go. Last verse. Bad things will come to Egypt, don't you know? Bad things will come to Egypt, don't you know? Bad things will come to Egypt, bad things will come to Egypt, bad things will come to Egypt till we go. Oh no. Songs of childhood, right? Might as well pass the time with some fun.
We sang these.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know, they're all fun ones. When Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. Thus saith the Lord, bold Moses said, let my people go. If not, I'll smite your people dead. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. As Israel stood by the water's side, let my people go. By God's command it did divide. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. People had too much Dayenu, or we'll sing a couple verses? Okay, well, they only have a few in here. So the way that it typically is sung is not written out fully, right? So, Ilu, Ilu, Hotzianu, Hotzianu, mi Mitzrayim, Hotzianu, mi Mitzrayim, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Ilu Natan, Natan Lanu, Natan Lanu, Etashaba, Natan Lanu, Etashaba, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Ilu Natan, Natan Lanu, Natan Lanu, Etatora, Natan Lanu, Etatora, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. And in the traditional part of the Haggadah, they actually have it in pairs. So we would sing, Ilu Natan Lanu et Shabbat, Velo Natan Lanu et Torah, Velo Natan Lanu et Torah Dayenu. And each time you would go back to, if we had done that but not this, if he had done that but not this. But if you missed the discussion we had yesterday about Dayenu, there's tons of extra source sheets, so feel free to take one. Okay, I don't know about you, but this number 7 was definitely a song of my childhood. To the tune of My Darling Clementine, the Ballad of the Four Children. So if you don't know it, you might pick it up. Said the parents to their children, at the Seder you will dine. You will eat your fill of matzah, you will drink 4 cups of wine. These fine parents had 4 children, and their children numbered 4. One was wise and one was sick, wicked, one was simple to the core. And the 4th was sweet and winsome, she was young and she was small. While her siblings asked the questions, she could barely speak at all. Said the wise child to the parents, could you please explain the laws of the customs of the Seder? Could you please explain the cause? And the parents answered proudly, everyone themselves must see, in every age and generation, as if they themselves were freed. Then did sneer the one so wicked, what does all this mean to you? And the parents' hearts were saddened as their grief and anger grew. If yourself you don't consider as a child of Israel, then for you this has no meaning, you could be a slave as well. Then the simple Child said simply, "What is this?" And quietly, the good parents told their offspring we were freed from slavery. And the youngest child was silent, for she could not ask at all. But her eyes grew wide with wonder as her parents told her all. Now, dear children, heed the lesson and remember evermore what the parents told the children, sons and daughters, numbering 4. Now, if you remember this song from when you were a kid or ever in the past, it's actually a gender-neutralized version of the song. It used to be, 4 sons, and so some of the words have been modified, but I think it still works. Are you guys good to just keep going through? We'll go one by one. We have more time. Okay. Well, you're like, I'm here, so I might as well. Number 8. Page, not numbered, but page 3. On other nights, if you should dunk in manners, you are lacking. But Seder night we dunk 2 times. Haggadah gives us backing. Dunk an herb in salt water, it isn't any mystery. Tears, charoset, bitter herbs remind us of our history. You never, never, never steal except on night of Seder. And then you snitch a matzah piece your parents hide for later. Ask a ransom not too big, your parents need it badly. The afikomen ends the meal, so hand it over gladly. When the door is open wide, watch Elijah's wine cup. He visits us and takes 1 sip, but never drinks it all up. Seders are a lot of fun if everyone acts rightly. So mind your Yom Tov manners, kids, and sip your wine politely. Sounds like rules for the Seder for your child. This one we like to do in our preschool, this Pharaoh, Pharaoh, let my people go. And one of my religious school teachers just posted a video of her son, who's now in 4th grade, when he was in preschool, singing the chorus of this song over and over again, and it just popped up during Chol Hamoed. It was great. And it goes like this. Pharaoh, Pharaoh, whoa, baby, let my people go. Oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pharaoh, Pharaoh, whoa, baby, let my people go. Oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't actually know how the verses go, but that is what the song is. We can make it up or we could read it, but I don't know. What do you say, Vera?
That's a wake-up chorus.
Yeah, it's fun. The next one people know, or they should, number 10. One morning when Pharaoh awoke in his bed, there were frogs in his bed and frogs on his head, frogs on his nose and frogs on his toes, frogs here, frogs there, frogs were jumping everywhere. And what I learned from Chazan is that apparently this song has a verse for every plague, but people only sing the frog verse. But there really is. There's a verse for every single plague. I don't know how they go. I've never heard it before, but he has like a page of song, like sheet music, that has every single verse written on the same page along with the same tune. So I should probably learn it sometime.
Yeah. He should share. Yeah.
It's in the Haggadah that we use for our family Seder on the second night, which is how I learned about it, because he has it inside our Haggadah, but I've never sang it with him. Oh, listen, oh, listen, oh, listen, King Pharaoh. Oh, listen, oh, listen, oh, usually please let my people go. They want to go away. They work too hard all day. King Pharaoh, what do you say? No, 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 I will not let them go. No, 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 I will not let them go. I never noticed till we started singing it that one has the second line is usually different. Usually says, please let my people go, as the second time you say, oh, listen. Well, I didn't make the song sheet, I just have it. We'll skip Lashana Haba for now. The next page has a bunch of parody ones, sort of like we sang earlier. So I don't know if you've heard all of them or just some of them, or if we'll be able to do all of them, but we'll try it. Number 13. There's no Seder like our, oh, sorry, that's wrong one. Take me out of the ballgame. There's no, this is not the one that, this is not the right tune. It's the wrong tune. No, that's the wrong one. It just says to the tune of Take Me Out the Ballgame, but it's not. It is supposed to be what I just said. It's supposed to be, there's no business like show business. It just says the wrong thing. So we'll sing it the way it's supposed to be sung, but ignore what it says. There's no Seder like our Seder. There's no Seder I know. Everything about it is halachic. Nothing that the Torah won't allow. Listen how we read the whole Haggadah. It's all in Hebrew, 'cause we know how. There's no Seder like our Seder. We tell a tale that is swell. Moses took the people out into the heat. They baked the matzah while on their feet. Now isn't that a story that just can't be beat? Let's go on with the show. Let's go on with the show. As far as I know, that's how that song goes. And I didn't notice. The Take Me Out to the Ball Game is number 17. And somehow when this got typed up, the little note got a little bit off, but we went with it. This one, hopefully, we should be able to figure out. Just a spoonful of sugar for just a tad of charoset. Just a tad of charoset helps the bitter herbs go down. The bitter herbs go down. The bitter herbs go down. Just a tad of charoset helps the bitter herbs go down in the most disguising way. How does the slaves under Pharaoh, they sweat and toiled and labored through the day. So when we gather Pesach night, we do what we think right. Maror we chew to feel what they went through. Just a tad of charoset helps the bitter herbs go down. The bitter herbs go down. The bitter herbs go down. Just a tad of charoset helps the bitter herbs go down in the most disguising way. So after, well, go for it, Vera. Their suffering was the only life they knew. But baby Moses grew up tall and said that saved them all. He did, and yet we swear we won't forget that. Just a tad of charoset. They're not perfect. Helps the bitter herbs go down. The bitter herbs go down. The bitter herbs go down. Just a tad of charoset helps the bitter herbs go down in the most disguising way. We'll pass on the maror. And I am not so well versed in Gilligan's Island. It's not quite the right generation for me. It's okay. It's okay. I'll read it to you, and we'll pretend we know how to sing it. A tale of a frightful trip that started many years ago in old ancient Egypt. The Jews were forced to work as slaves. They suffered that ordeal. We celebrate their exodus with a 3-hour meal. A 3-hour meal. That part's how I know, right? The 3-hour tour, right? That's the only part I know. Pharaoh was an evil dude. His wrath would not relent. If not for the effort of the fearless Jews, we'd all be keeping Lent. We'd all be keeping Lent. They landed in the desert after parting the Red Sea, with Moses and Aaron too, each Israelite and his wife, a movie star, the professor, and Miriam, here on Passover night. Yeah, I guess I should go back and learn that one. How do you guys feel about West Side Story? Elijah, I just saw the prophet Elijah, and suddenly that name will never sound the same to me. Elijah, he came to our Seder, Elijah. He had his cup of wine, but could not stay to dine this year. Elijah, for your message all Jews are waiting, that the time's come for peace and not hating. Elijah, next year we'll be waiting. Elijah, or something like that. It's been a long time.
Are we supposed to leave the cup
out overnight?
It's not a custom I've heard of, but I best you could. Where did you learn that at some point?
That was what we did growing up. And now when I do it, I feel like it feels like leaving out milk and cookies.
Yes, that's exactly what I just thought when you said it, so yes. No, I've not heard that custom, but it, I guess, could make sense. But yeah, no. There were these songs that we had growing up that was something about like, don't shake the table, so that you could see Elijah drink his cup. I don't remember that one, but it was like some Passover songs that we had growing up on a CD or something, tape, probably a tape. Now we're at Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Take us out of Egypt, free us from slavery. Bake us some matzah in a haste. Don't worry about flavor, give no thought to taste. Oh, it's rush, rush, rush to the Red Sea. If we don't cross, it's a shame, for it's 10 plagues down and you're out at the Pesach history game. And we skipped number 12, so let's go back and sing Lishana Haba'ah, because we might as well. Lishana Haba'ah, Lishana Haba'ah, Lishana Haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. Lishana Haba'ah, Lishana Haba'ah, Lishana Haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. Lishana Haba'ah, Lishana Haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. Lishana Haba'ah, Lishana Haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. And we skipped number 2, so let's see if we Avadim Hayinu. We were slaves, and now we are free. And the way we do this in preschool is when you sing the first part, once we were slaves, Avadim Hayinu, you make a sad face. Avadim Hayinu, Hayinu. And then we are free. Ata b'nei chorin, b'nei chorin. Avadim Hayinu. Ata b'nei chorin. Avadim Hayinu. Ata b'nei chorin, b'nei chorin. Ata b'nei chorin, b'nei chorin. That's how Chazan does it, at least. I don't know exactly how any of the other teachers do it, but that's how he does it. That is the end, basically.
We're the slaves this year.
What?
They dressed up as slaves, the third graders.
Yes.
So Grant brought his home, and then we did that. He puts out his outfit and he goes around. Yeah, he went around with the outfit of that.
Nice.
One of our guests brought props for Chad Gadya,
Oh.
which I had never seen before.
Oh, really?
So there was a prop for each of the lines.
Yeah.
And I decided that since all too often people claim that for some reason they're too tired to sing songs at the end, we started the day with Chad Gadya.
Oh, yeah. Chad Gadya is a great one. It's one of my favorites because I'm pretty great at animal sounds.
Well, okay.
But we don't have the words. We'll have to just make it up. I think we could do it. Chad Gadya, Chad Gadya, Dizambin Amba betrays Uzay. Chad Gadya, Chad Gadya. I can also get some Haggadot if we want. In the English or in the Hebrew? Or I guess Aramaic, I should say. And came a goat that my daddy bought for 2 zuzim. Chad Gadya, Chad Gadya. And came the cat that bit the goat that my daddy bought for 2 zuzim. Chad Gadya, Chad Gadya. And came the dog that, ruff, ruff. I'm almost trying to remember what sounds we're making. Ruff, ruff. That's bit the cat that bit the goat that my daddy bought for 2 zuzim. Chad Gadya, Chad Gadya. Those are really the best ones, but the other ones are all kind of normal, right? But the goat is pretty epic.
Well, it was fun.
Oh, thanks.
It got everybody into it.
And I'm glad you had fun at yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that in ours also.
Well, Moti used to come to our Seder.
Yeah.
And in Israel, the dog is how you.
Oh yeah, they say have.
How.
Dogs in Israel say have instead of saying rough.
Speak it different.
Wait, dogs in
It-
Israel speak Hebrew?
Well,
How.
have.
Yeah.
Hey vet.
Right,
That's how the sound is written when you write out what a dog says. So they say have,
yeah.
as opposed to rough.
That's
very funny.
Yes. And when we have a whole bunch of those fun ones.
It looks dark out.
I know, it's almost there, but we're not quite there. We need about 10 more minutes till we can start Mari. I do have one more thing we could do. Well, I could also get out there and sing some more songs, but what do you guys think? Get some Haggadot, or should we give this other thing a try?
I think I'm done singing past.
Right. Then we can do a little bit of learning. It's learning we do with children, so it's not really learning. I mean, it is really learning, I didn't say that, but. Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one, too.
please. And just remember that taking out the ballgame isn't actually taking out the ballgame.
Yeah, no.
Here you go. Okay, so I decided to bring us, so this lesson comes from a book that we use in our day school, and sometimes we'll use parts of it for religious school. Teaches mitzvot from each Torah portion. And so this particular section comes from the section about Parashat Bo, the parsha that we read in which the last 3 plagues occur, as well as the lead up to leaving, so the putting of the blood on the doorpost and the death of the firstborn. And then the parsha right after this is when we cross the sea. And so in that parsha, there's a verse that I didn't bring here, but it says, "V'higadata libincha," right? And tell your child on that day that this is what God did for you to take you out of Egypt with an outstretched arm and a mighty hand, right? All of those wonderful things. And so the rabbis decided from that verse, there must be a Seder, something to tell the story. If it says in the Torah, and you should tell your children on that day, then we must do something about it. And so what they decided was, there must be all of these things that we can do, and let's figure out how to kind of concretize it and put it into a system. So Mishnah Pesachim, right, the section of the Mishnah, the discussions of the rabbis about the laws of Pesach, has in it, this is an edited version of the section from the Mishnah, but chapter 10 basically has this blueprint of the Seder, right? Kind of lays out what it would look like if you were going to have a Seder. And I know it's a little weird to talk about Seder on the last day, but that's where we're at. So, since the people on the live stream, if there happens to be anyone there, can only hear if I read, I'm inclined to read, but I think it's more interesting when more people read. So maybe we'll have people read and I'll paraphrase or repeat, or we'll just ignore the people who probably aren't there. Somebody want to read for us, number 1?
Okay,
Go for it.
On Erev Pesach, after
Mincha.
Mincha, one may not eat until after dark. Even a poor Jew may not eat until she reclines at the Seder. Even a poor Jew, a person who lives off tzedakah, must not drink less than 4 cups.
Right. So they say, even if you have not enough money for almost anything else, you still have to have the 4 cups of wine or grape juice at your Seder. Even if you are sustained by tzedakah, meaning you really can't pay for anything for yourself, you are most likely, we're thinking of people who live off of welfare in today's language. Until you can recline at the Seder, you don't eat from after midday until it's the beginning of Pesach. Okay, there's the first section of the Mishnah. Number 2. Go for it, Bruce.
When the first cup is filled, one says the Kiddush. Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel differ over the order of the 2 Kiddush brachot.
Okay, so once you fill your first cup, you say Kiddush. But Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel, who were the 2 main houses of study at the time, disagreed, as they often did, about the order of the 2 brachot that you say for Kiddush. at the end of the day, we most often follow Beit Hillel, so we can imagine that whatever we have in our Seder this year is most likely whatever Beit Hillel said was the tradition, and presumably whatever Beit Shammai said was the opposite. But you'd have to go back into the Mishnah and the Gemara to look it up. Number 3. Go for it, Marty. You can read number 4 if you're the long one.
One then brings vegetables. The green is dipped before the breaking of the loaf. Then they bring matzah, greens, harosas, and 2 cooked dishes. In the days when the temple existed, the bones of the Pesach offering were also brought.
Right, so you start with vegetables. You dip your greens in something before you break your loaf, presumably matzah. Then you bring matzah and greens and haroset and 2 cooked dishes. In the days when temple existed, you had also the bones, the Pesach offering, and then we have kind of symbolized that now with our zroa, right? But that's what that third one says. Okay, Vera.
Then the second cup is poured. Next, the child asks the 4 questions. If the child doesn't have enough understanding, the parents just provide instruction. According to the child's knowledge, so is the teaching done. The parent begins with the story of our shame and ends with the story of God's glory. The parent starts the explanation with the words, "My ancestor was a wandering Aramean," Deuteronomy 26:5, and then works through the entire portion.
Okay, right, we have the second cup and the 4 questions and a description of kind of what happened to our ancestors starting from Arami Oved Avi, my ancestor was a wandering Aramean, all the way through the stuff that follows in that section of the Seder. Okay, number 5. Gamliel.
Taught that every Seder must include a discussion of Pesach, Matzah, and Maror. Then one says the beginning of Hallel.
Right, so as Rabban Gamliel taught, you have to have at least a mention or a discussion of Pesach, Matzah, and Maror, 3 main parts of the Seder, and if you don't mention those, it's like you didn't have your Seder. And then you say the beginning of Hallel, right, of the sections of Psalms that we sing typically in the mornings. I've always thought that we would sing that section because you just never know who's going to make it in the morning, so you might as well get Hallel in the night before. Number 6. Yeah, go for it, Beit Shammai.
Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel disagree on how much of the Hallel is said before the meal. Then comes a concluding bracha about redemption. Rabbi Tarfon and Rabbi Akiva disagree about the text of this bracha.
Great, so you can see there's lots of disagreement in the Mishnah, which happens very often. Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel disagree about how much of the Hallel you say before the meal, as opposed to having said the rest of Hallel after the meal, right? You say some before and some after. And then there's a concluding bracha about redemption. Rabbi Tarfon, that's the PH is that weird Fe letter we have going on. And Rabbi Akiva disagree about the text of this bracha. Okay, last but not least, anyone else want to read? Maybe Bobby wants to read?
Yeah, sure.
Number 7. Hold on, we'll let Bobby read it. It's English.
In English, right here. Right here.
Then the 3rd cup is poured, and Birkat Hamazon, the grace after the meals is said, followed by the rest of Hallel.
Right. So I don't know where the 4th cup is in this discussion of the Mishnah, but that's what it says. So we'll pause. We're not going to read the bottom of the page for now. We're going to turn it over for a second. And this is the exercise that we ask our students to do, right? If you opened up a modern Haggadah, you would find the list of the 15 steps of the Seder. And what they ask people to do is match each of the things that are on the right? Things like the 4 questions, the 4 children, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th cups, saltwater parsley, breaking the middle matzah, eating the matzah, matzah roar and haroset, the horseradish, the maror, chicken soup with matzah balls, hunt for afikomen, first part of Hallel, the rest of Hallel, the door for Elijah, Shana B'Av Yerushalayim, Dayenu, who knows one, Gadia, and lighting candles. Right? Which of those things happen during which step of our Seder? So it's an interesting thought process, or thought experiment. You don't have to, remember all of it. This activity we typically would do by giving kids a Haggadah to look through, because we don't expect you to memorize all of the parts. But just in the 1 or 2 minutes we have before we start Mariv, does anybody have any that you think you know for sure which section of our Seder these parts come from or go to? Or which ones are you not sure about? I know we just already had 2 Seders, but they were a whole week ago, so they might not be as fresh. Fresher than next month or last month. But Should we do them together? What do you think, Vera?
Saltwater and parsley would go with karpas.
Oh, yes, very good. Saltwater and parsley go with karpas.
The afikomen is the hunt for the afikomen.
That's right. The hunt for the afikomen is safun, when we look for the afikomen. Right, some of them are pretty obvious because it's the name of the step.
The matzah is break the hots.
Mm-hmm, right, exactly, that yachatz. And what do we do with the middle matzah? We break it in half. Which side? Do you guys remember which side goes to be the afikomen? Bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
Good, bigger. The bigger one becomes the afikomen.
The hello sandwich is the matzah and the roar and the haroset.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, the korech. We take the matzah and more and the harosa and we make a big sandwich.
Questions of
What's
the
missing?
Magid.
That's right, the 4 questions are part of Magid. Just if anybody remembers, what should have been in the matzah maror haroset sandwich if we were following the original text? The Torah tells us you take your Pesach offering and al matzot u'merorim yochluhu. You eat your lamb with your maror and your matzah. Right, so my dad likes to say it's like shawarma with your sandwich. We don't do that part anymore. So instead you get the charoset with it.
Sanctification would be lighting candles.
That's right. Lighting candles goes during, the Kadesh, and then we do the Kiddush with your Kiddush cup. The first cup is in Kadesh, but I get lost as to where the other ones all
Well, I
fall.
would say that he doesn't want to have.
Yeah, all those things happen at the end.
And
Yeah, those are all the end, all at Nirtzah. That's right. Dayenu happens earlier. I don't remember exactly which step. I think it's during the Magid. And Lashana Abba Yerushalayim is at the end. Yes, there's your chicken soup with matzo balls. I would imagine that chicken soup with matzo balls is probably not mentioned in the Mishnah, but only can happen during the Shulchan Aruch. So yeah, just a little bit.
Horseradish would be before.
Well,
Yes.
the halal would be halal.
Yes, but the first part of Hallel happens earlier, and I think it happens during the Magid.
Really?
I thought so.
I was gonna say it happened
During
Matzah
Korech?
or-
The door for Eliza is after, is against Nisra, it's after halal.
Yeah, right near the end.
Oh, maybe you're right, because I think but the Hallel is before. I guess it's right after Pesach Matzah Maror, so maybe it is right around Korech. I don't know. Have to look it up. Well, it is time for Mari.
Something.
You've been a trooper. Thanks for playing.
The restaurant looked like chicken soup with matzo balls.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Okay. Well, we'll abbreviate it, Mari. We'll have a minute, but we'll do our best. Where did my list go? There it is. We're on page 137. El Chai V'Kayam Tamidim L'Chalei Olam V'Ed Brachata Adonai Amari Barabim Avad Olam V'Yavarcha Al Tasir El Brachata Adonai V'Amo Yisrael El Melech Ne'eman Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Yadon L'Hakam V'Haya Vayomer Moshe Lemor Ani Adonai Elohechem Emet B'Emunah Tzolenu U'malchuto v'ratzon ki lo alehem Moshe v'nei Yisrael achanu shira v'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha v'aylim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef ele Malchut charo v'necha bokel yam lifnei Moshe ze lianu v'yamru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov uger lo me'arzach mimenu u'barachat Adonai ga'al Yisrael hashki ve'inu l'shalom alim shalom. Shmor tzeitenu v'oinu l'chaim l'shalom yatav v'olam barachat Adonai shomer amo Yisrael la'ad barachat Adonai amen v'amen. Ki hamalchut shelcha hi l'me'atim lach b'chavod ke'en l'malchat ha'brachat Adonai amlech b'kvodo tamidim l'cha leinu le'olam va'ed v'al kol masav. Silent Amidah for the concluding portion of our service is on page 142, A or B. We no longer include paragraphs for Pesach, but we do include the paragraph at the top of page 143 that is the quasi-Havdalah paragraph. Page 143 in the small print during your personal Amidah, which goes through page 148. Attain bracha al panei hadam. Yasa shalom bimroma Yasa shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru imru amen. Yasa shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yasa shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Aleinu, page 152 as we turn ahead to count the Omer. Saturday night is the only night that we actually have Mariv at the right time to count the Omer. So we will turn to page 152 and read together in the English the paragraph in the middle of the page. And then we'll say the blessing. And then today has been the 7th day, so when we count we will add 1 to 7 and read together what that line is. So in the middle of page 152. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer as it is ordained in the Torah. You shall count from the eve of the 2nd day of Pesach, when an Omer of grain is to be brought as an offering, 7 complete weeks. The day after the 7th week of your counting will make 50 days. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Hayom Shemona Yamim, Shehem Shavua Echad, Veyom Echad LaOmer. Today is 8 days, which makes 1 week and 1 day. When I said Saturday night, I meant the end of the holiday. Because it's not Saturday, it's Sunday. We're page 150, Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol l'atei kedula le'yotzer reshit. Shalo asanu kegoye aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama. Shalo samchel kenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol amonam. Vanachnu korim, umishtachal umodim, lifnei melech, malchei amlachim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, She'unot HaShamayim ve'yosed haaretz, U'moshav yekaro HaShamayim imal, U'shchinatu zo, Begavei meromim, Hu Eloheinu Eino Remokeinu. Ki amalchut shelcha hima timloch b'chavo kakatu b'toratecha Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar ve'aya Adonai le'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo U'shemo echad, Fondness and affection recall those members of our community, our congregational family whose yard sites begin this evening, the 23rd of the month of Nisan. We remember Alexi Graber, Bertha Bandel, David Randy Berman, Joseph Portnoy, Joseph Samuel Blatzer, and Martin J. Gottlieb. He's Zichram Baruch. May their memories be for a blessing. May they rest in peace. Amen. Again, we turn back to page 97. We'll read together Psalm 23. Again, page 97, in the absence of a Minyan. We'll recite Psalm 23 instead of the Kaddish. Psalm of David, Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. God gives me repose in green meadows and guides me over calm waters. God will revive my spirit and direct me on the right path, for that is God's way. Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are at my side. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever. We'll conclude with the very brief Havdalah for the end of the festival, just the blessing over the juice, and the conclusion of our Yom Tov. Please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam haborei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol ben or lechoshech ben Yisrael amim ben yom hashvi shesh yemei ha'aseh. Baruch atah Adonai hamavdil ben kodesh lechol. Shavua Tov. Thanks for being with me, even though we didn't quite have 10, but hope you had a nice time anyway. And Shavua Tov, everybody. Have a great week. If you're planning to join us for the Sefer Shabbaton, get those RSVPs in. And Wednesday night is Yom HaShoah. Our community commemoration is out at the beach this year, at Bethel at the beaches, at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. So if you're planning to be out there, let them know. Please RSVP. And otherwise, we hope you have a good week and a meaningful week. And don't forget to count. Make every day count. You're supposed to let them know you're coming. You're just supposed to like RSVP so that they know who's to expect. But
I'm taking one of
thanks.
you.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Argue it over.
Good study session.
Thanks.
I like, also, for Sukkah, remember you had all the pictures of those,
Yeah.
even on a boat and stuff?
Yeah.
That was terrific.
Marty, am I looking up or are you looking up?
Oh,
Hey, love, please, up. He's not
You
accomplishing
sure?
this year. It's in there.